Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance, and we're also going to unveil a discount code that you guys can go ahead and use for the site of Notino to purchase fragrances up until June 16th. So we're going to start with the discount code, and we're also going to mention it again at the end of the video. Now the discount code, again, it's the site of Notino, link is down below. If you use the code DRACDOC, you can get a discount on anything on the site. The only things that it already excludes are sales items, clearance items of the such. So things that are heavily discounted or discounted already, you can't double stack on it. So otherwise, you can use it on anything on the site. So give it a shot. Again, the discount code is DRACDOC. They have an excellent site. You can purchase many fragrances that are there for extremely, heavily discounted. The discount always changes, so that's why I usually never give the precise amount, because it'll always change for it. So check out the site and see if there's anything that you like and purchase it and use that discount code. All right? So let's now get into the fragrance review. The fragrance we're going to touch on today is called Cedrat Boise from the house of Mancera, or Mancera. Now, the fragrance was released in the year of 2011. Now, this is the box and the design of the bottle. You can see, or the design of the box. It's very simple design for the box. And if you take this out, you start to see the pouch, which the fragrance actually comes in. It's a very nice pouch, so no knock on that. But when you take it out, you're left with a bottle that has a very simple design, very simple, very elegant, very sleek, and it's something that I like. Now, the one thing to mention with this fragrance is that it does not come off as like a pop top or anything like that. What it does is it screws off, and you're left with the fragrance. So a little bit unique in that regard, but either way, I really do like the presentation. Now, it's available in one main size. This size, which is the 4-ounce bottle. And if you look down below in the link, you can see you can purchase it from Notino as well too. So go ahead, check it out, and see if it's something that you're actually interested in. Now, before we actually go any further, I want to tackle the elephant in the room. If you're here and you're part of the fragrance community, you probably want to know that age-old question that's come up with this particular fragrance, and that is, does it smell like Aventus? Let me tell you guys right off the bat, before we even go into the fragrance review, that I'm going to say no, it does not smell like Aventus. This is not Aventus at all, and I think it really does other fragrances a disservice, if you will, to constantly being compared to Aventus. I get why Aventus is so popular. I get why, it's a great fragrance. I love it. And I get why people are constantly looking for other fragrances that smell like it. Because at the end of the day, it's a fragrance that costs almost $500 to purchase. And not many people are willing to lay down that kind of money for a particular fragrance. So I get it. But at the same time, it's its own scent. And there goes my text message. So now, let's start with the notes. The notes of the fragrance are listed on screen. What you're getting when you smell this scent, at the very beginning, it's got a vague resemblance to Aventus in terms of it's got this kind of fruity wooden vibe right off the bat. But that changes within 10 minutes. About 10 minutes later, nothing like it. This is a cedar-heavy, cedar-dominant fragrance through and through. Personally, cedar is my favorite wood note, so this really piqued my interest once I heard what was actually in the notes. And no exception there. Heavily cedar, you start to get a little bit of fruitiness that kind of comes in it. Vanilla is also the major note, and as the fragrance kind of dries down, since cedar is the heavy fragrance of this kind of remains with that same scent. But one other note comes in this scent that really makes it really nice, and that is a leather note. So think of cedar, fruity notes, leather, vanilla. That's what you get when you smell this scent, and it is really nice. I like it. And I like it for its own fragrance worth. It is absolutely magical in kind of that regard. I go about 3-4 sprays with this fragrance. The one thing for this fragrance I should mention is that it does not have like huge staying power and huge projection. The projection on this fragrance is a lot closer to the skin. So I'm talking about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. It doesn't really project that far. It lasts a decent amount of time on my skin, anywhere between 5 and 9 hours I've seen. So it does kind of have that bit going for it. But the fragrance, the performance is nothing to scream at with it. I think this is a great fragrance for any season. You can wear this one as easily in the summer as you can in the winter. The one caution is in the winter, it may suffer from some performance issues. So be careful and be on your guard with that regards. Now, I think as far as occasion goes, this is a great laid back fragrance. This is a fragrance that you can wear, just laying in the cut. This is a fragrance that you wear, you just spray on, sitting down, you're enjoying your whiskey, you're enjoying whatever it is that you're drinking, and you're just, having a good time and laying back. That's what this fragrance is. This is not, an overly aggressive fragrance, which is why this fragrance kind of lays and kind of speaks to me. This is one that I really do like. Now, as far as compliments goes, it's not a heavy compliment getter, and I would not expect this to actually be a heavy compliment getter. I've often said, even of, I know I'm going to mention it overhand, so I apologize again, even of Aventus, I do not consider Aventus a hugely compliment getter for the opposite, or for women specifically. For men, yes, Aventus is like catnip for men. But this one, I actually think, while it's not a huge compliment getter, I think that in the right hands, this fragrance will get you compliments if you can rock it right, or if you can wear it right. This will do its job. But your skin has to match. So what I'm trying to say out of that is that you want to try it on your skin. You want it something that's going to meld with your skin, and you want to make sure it does. So if you can, get a sample of the fragrance and see how it does with you. But either way, I would say, I'm on the fence with that particular object with the compliments. Age group, this is a more mature fragrance. It's one that you definitely want to be a little bit more mindful if you're of the younger generation, but anyone can wear any fragrance for that matter, right? So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I'm going to give this fragrance a rating a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, 4 out of 5 stars. 1, the scent, love the scent. No penalties there. It's an absolute gem of a scent. It's its own fragrance. We're talking about cedar, leather, fruity notes. What's not to love about it? Performance, it's going to lose a little points for performance. The performance, it's really the projection that I'm not too much of a fan of. I get that it's sitting closer to the skin, but sometimes it just sits really, really close to the skin to the point where, it kind of suffers a little bit from it. But at the end of the day, it still does have pretty decent, longevity and everything like that off of that. It is I do classify this as an original fragrance. There are not many scents that smell like this to me. So yes, it gets full points for originality. Compliments, that's again half of a star for that one. I'm a mixed bag with compliments, and you heard my explanation for it. And finally, the value. I think that you're getting good value when you purchase this fragrance. This is definitely reasonably priced, and more so if you visit the site down below and see if you can purchase it off there, right? So, excellent in those regards, right? So, let me know what your thoughts are on Cedrat Boise. I'm really curious of the Aventus angle, because that's one thing that took me by surprise when people were saying it smells like Aventus. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I got my hands on it, and I was like, man, I really don't agree with this assessment. I get the initial kind of spray, and if you're just in passing, but I did not agree with that assessment. And I looked on Fragrantica, and it was like a bunch of people who had said that it smells like Aventus in that description. I was like, no, I don't agree for it. But that's just me, all right? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that matter. I'm really curious. And now, I actually have not seen any of the other reviews or any other reviewers do any in-depth thing on Cedrat Boise, the comparison between, not that they're not out there, it's just that I chose not to actually specifically view them, just because I was like, you know what, I don't want to get too into it just because I don't want it to taint my opinion. And that's what it is. Okay, so again, as a reminder, check out Notino.com and use the code DRACDOC for anything that you purchase on there to get a 10% discount. It's valid until June 16th, so check it out, all right? Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.